You're in a Starbucks and they give you two clear options, latte or mocha. What they don't tell you is there's a third option. You walk out. So what if everybody else is drinking coffee? Maybe you've got better things to spend your money on. Like orange juice, which is much richer in vitamins. Or you can drink water, which is free for most civilized people who might find themselves in a Starbucks anyway. If you're watching this video at all, there's probably some pressure on you to go to college. And I can understand that. In fact, we'll get back to the subject of you in a minute, but I should at least set the stage by giving you some context with my own educational experience first. I have a college degree. It's a bachelor's of music, and it took me 6 years across two very different institutions to do it. I hemorrhaged a frightening amount of time and money in the process, but if the resulting phoenix of insights are helpful to you at all in your own college journey, then by God it's justified, so let's talk about it. Right, so since I just got out of college and you're probably on your way in, safe to say you and I grew up roughly in the same generation. So you know as well as I do that the commonly exerted belief on this generation is that the college degree is a must-have for any of us who are going to have any sort of career notoriety in this day and age. I mean, for those of our parents who didn't go to college, they just want us to have the opportunity that they never had, right? And then we've got those of our parents who did go to college and maybe even achieve some career success. Of course they're going to want you to go too. I mean, if they didn't, what kind of statement would they be making about their own college degrees, right? So by default I go to the local university. And just as I would at any accredited university, I get handed a list of majors to pick from. Any subject under the sun, from literature to psychology to criminal justice to music. Dude, I love music. I'll totally major in music. Rock and roll is awesome. So I can kill two birds with one stone, right? I'll satisfy society's expectations by getting a college degree and become a better drummer, maybe even a better musician in the process. Red flag number one. I show up with my drumsticks to an audition in a room that contains only timpani and a marimba. If neither of those instruments sound familiar to you, it's probably because neither have appeared prominently in any record that sold more than 13 copies in the last 100 years. Fast forward a month to red flag number two. Having accepted my drum set's fate as an unrecognized principal instrument, I'm now in a required music theory class in which we're analyzing sheet music from the 1600s. Meanwhile, thousands of other music majors around the country are analyzing the exact same 400-year-old piece of paper because virtually every music curriculum in the United States is under pressure to comply with the same accrediting institution that was founded before music with drum sets even existed. Which brings us to red flag number three. September 2007, a month especially famous in recent videos of mine for being a particularly unfulfilling time in the life of young Harry. By now I've lost sight of why I'm in this weird musical jail at all and what it ever had to do with the music I knew and loved in the first place. And the saddest part about this story, I think, is that this seems to be exactly how every friend I've made in these programs feels about the trap of traditional music school. We've basically gone into debt to have our passion for learning about music sapped by the stale ghost of Beethoven and his gnarly gang of anti-drum set prodigies. So dudes, I took the secret option number three. I walked out of that nasty, nasty Starbucks. Here's the mistake I made, and the distinction I would encourage you to consider. Music is a broad term, and like all powerful words, it can be used for good or evil. If you believe music is a term that can also refer to sonic creations made in the last 100 years, you're not alone. If you love drum set and want to study it on the college level, you don't have to waste your money paying some professor's salary to tell you it's not even a real instrument. They make institutions for special people like us called contemporary music schools. So that solves the enjoyment aspects of your studies, but there's still the question of whether any music school, whether you enjoy it or not, is worth it. And that of course depends on your goals. See, if your goal is to learn the theory, you can probably save yourself the national average student loan debt of $24,000 and just figure it out on Wikipedia. That's the free water from earlier for those of you who dig metaphors. And if your goal is to go work in any other industry whatsoever, I think you're hurting your chances of getting hired by studying such a specialized discipline. So basically, if you have any desire at all to be a well-rounded person and you insist on getting a college degree, you'd honestly be better off studying anything but music in college and just starting a band on the side. Hell, you'd stand out more as a musician there than trying to market your band to a bunch of musician classmates who also have bands. Besides, the strategy of not majoring in music worked out great for Danny Carey and Mike Mangini and Stuart Copeland and Sting and Dave Matthews. But if I still haven't convinced you, if you're still at all interested in meeting people who have the same passion you do for succeeding as a musician, in interacting with the very guys who have won the Grammys and toured the arenas and made their own mark on the industry, in eating, sleeping, and breathing the work you want to dedicate your life to only to find out that 12 other guys in your hall do it better than you do and that disparity lights even more of a fire under your ass, then you might be onto something going to music school. Just be warned that when you get out, you may end up alone in a basement with only a camera for a friend. Dudes, thanks for watching and subscribing. It's been crazy making these videos every Monday and awesome to meet everybody and read all the comments. So keep them going, you know, let me know how you're feeling or what you want to hear next, or if you think I should maybe take up some other instrument. See you next week.